Hey guys, Prowl 1701 here, and today we're going to talk about Season 25 of Doctor Who. And I'm going to talk about things I want in the eventual Season 25 box set in the collection range, which is strongly rumored to be the next set that will be announced. One thing I want is, and I can't remember if we have it, have they done an In Conversation with Bonnie Langford yet? Because I want to feel like they have, but I don't remember. I legit don't remember. Because I'm like, have I watched that? Have they done that? If they haven't done that, I want them to do that. Because we need that. I want something to get updated effects this season. Because the McCoy era has gotten no updated effects in these box sets. The only ones they've had in them are ones that are from previous releases. Like VHS or DVD updated effects. Nothing from the McCoy era has had updated effects exclusive to the Blu-ray sets. I feel like he deserves at least one story with that. I would prefer it to be Remembrance of the Daleks. I like Remembrance of the Daleks, but I would love to see some updated effects for it. That would be really nice, especially, you know, it's Remembrance of the Daleks. That would be the one I would pick if I could pick one. I don't really think the others overly need it enough to really raise a big deal over it. But if anything could get updated effects, I would want it to be Remembrance, because I would love to see something in the McCoy era get them. I would love to see the different episode cuts, and I'm sure they will be including those, like the extended version of Silver Nemesis from the VHS release. I believe 3 of the 4 stories have extended cuts that can be done. For some reason, I feel like it was 3 of the 4 stories. I would love to see all of those alternate and extended versions. I'd also like to see all of the behind-the-scenes material. Seasons 24 and 26 have a lot of the studio sessions that still existed. I'm sure Season 25 does as well, so I'm sure they will add a lot of that as well, the Season 25 studio footage. That would be cool to see, so I would like to see that. Location work, I've talked before on these, I tend to like location work, so I would love watching them go back to where they filmed some of the locations. Anything that needs a making of. I don't know if there's anything this season that's missing a making of these 4 stories, but anything that needs a making of, I would like to see get a making of. I, of course, would love to see a season overview. I tend to love those, especially being the 25th season, so they could talk not just about the season, but it being the 25th anniversary and all the things that were going into the 25th anniversary celebrations. Talking about how Silver Nemesis is the official one, but Remembrance is kind of the unofficial one, you know, anniversary story. So I would love to see that. I think that's really all I have, didn't I? Yeah. I think that's all I really wrote. I couldn't really think of a lot here. Maybe a writer's room. I believe a lot of the writers are still around for Season 25. So I would love to have a writer's room to get together and talk with them about that. Or another doctor's table. I tend to like the doctor's table when they do that. So I'd love to see another doctor's table where they're eating lunch and playing games. That's fun. I think you could do this set with 8 discs. 2 discs for each story, or 2 discs for each of the 3 stories that might have extended edits, with the other story getting 1 disc and then there being a bonus disc. I think you could do 8 discs would be good here. I think the other McCoy stories are, I think Season 26 might be 7, but I think 24 is 8. I forget exactly. But Season 25, I think you could do it with 8 discs. I think that would work just fine. Season 25 is a pretty important season. I'm sure that's why they're saving it for last in the McCoy run. 8 disc, I think it deserves. If the rumors are true, we've already seen the colors for this season. If 25 is indeed the next one, we've seen the colors, which is kind of a silver, cream, and orange, which I think fits this season really well, actually. There's several things McCoy could be holding in his hand. That little calling card he has in Remembrance with his name on it. He could be holding the microphone for when he's telling off Davros at the end of Remembrance. He could be even holding Ace's bat, you know, not by the handle, but by this part, like he's holding it when he hands it back to her. He could be holding her bat in his hand with a bit of a smirk on his face as he's about to hand her this powered-up bat. Those are the main things I think of when I think about things he could be holding this season, right off the top of my head. I think for enemies, you have the Daleks. I think you have both factions of the Daleks. You have a Renegade Dalek and an Imperial Dalek, and you need the Weapons Master Dalek. Is that what it's called? I forget. The Dalek with the big cannon on the front. That's got to be on the cover. So you need 2 or 3 Daleks on the cover just to represent both factions there. You got to have a Cyberman on there. this is, you know, the silver anniversary of the show. After all, you've got to have a Cyberman on there. A nice big shot of the chrome Cyberman. You got to have that. I also think you could have the witch lady from Silver Nemesis. I forget her name. The lady, whatchamado-it. You need to have her on there as well. I think she's a pretty cool villain in that story. You need the head clown from Greatest Show in the Galaxy. Just because he's so good in that role. The guy playing the head clown is so good in that role. He's one of the best parts of that story. So you need him on there. And you could put the Gods of Ragnarok. Once they're in there looking like the Gods of Ragnarok form, you could have at least one of them, but really all three of them there. But you need the head clown more than them. And then you need Helen A on there. Like, I wouldn't do the Candyman because I know there was a whole copyright issue with that. So don't do the Candyman just to save yourself the headache. But put Helen A on there. I think Helen A has a cool, distinct visual look that she would fit really well as one of the enemies on the front. I think for the flap, you have to do this. If they don't do this, I will be disappointed. The flap has to be the pink TARDIS from Happiness Patrol. It has to be. Come on, Lee Binding. I know this is what you want to do for that one. It's got to be the Happiness Patrol. It's got to be the pink TARDIS. It's got to be that. Nothing else is acceptable for season 25. I've got to have my pink TARDIS on the flap. And then from the back, I think you had that scene that was cut from Greatest Show in the Galaxy, but what we've seen, it's added as a deleted scene from the beginning of Greatest Show in the Galaxy when that little message ship materializes inside the TARDIS and say, hey, you're invited to the Greatest Show of the Galaxy. You know, there's a cut scene where it appears outside the TARDIS first. That's what you have as the back cover. The TARDIS in space with that little thing following it, getting ready to materialize into it. I think that's the perfect thing to do. It's a nice little nod to a scene that got cut. I would enjoy that. That's how I would personally do season 25. I want to know what you think, what all you want in season 25, and what you want the cover to look like, and hopefully we get an announcement on it soon. Boy, did I lose my train of thought there. Comment down below. Let's talk about it. I also have a P.O. box if you would like to send me anything to look at and review. I do have a birthday coming up here at the beginning of July, so I would certainly appreciate any birthday presents. I love getting fan mail. I do. I'm interested in getting some more of these classic collection box sets, the standard edition ones. I tend to like those. It lets me just have these as my shelf warmers and these to actually watch. And plus, they just look good on the shelf. I also am interested in getting the Klein trilogy from Big Finish because I like Klein from seeing her, from hearing about her in this, so I want to know more about her. So I would love to get the Klein trilogy. I'd also really like, even though it doesn't come out until August, the new season 1 Steelbook. I'm not going to be able to afford to get it. It's very overpriced, ridiculously overpriced. I looked at it the other day to ship it to me if I ordered it through Amazon, which I think it's an Amazon exclusive. I forget, but from Amazon it's like $81, and I just can't. I can get these so much cheaper than that. $81 with hardly any extras. I can't justify that cost for where I'm at financially right now. So if anyone would love to send it, even though we haven't seen the artwork at this point, if anyone would love to send it, I would surely love to have it. So I thought I'd just throw that out there because you'd be amazed what you can get just by asking for it sometimes. I do have a P.O. box down there. A link to my Amazon wish list is down there. A link to my Amazon UK wish list is down there as well. I want to give a shout out to some of my top tier patrons, Stephen Crane, Colin Coney, and Finn Perkins. I appreciate their continued support, as I do the support of all of my patrons. It's very much appreciated. And most importantly, thank you for watching.